Now, who is a person is related to pay GST பார்க்க போறோம். அப்புறம் GST ஓட supply of time எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு பார்க்க போறோம். So these are the concepts which people see it in our today's lecture. Okay va? So let me share the screen. Okay. So as per the syllabus, this is the line of uh, the flow of your uh, topics. Okay. So first definition of GST பார்ப்பீங்க. அப்புறம் business related person of capital goods, அதாவது related persons யாரு as per the GST அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அது பார்ப்பீங்க. அப்புறம் levy and collection of tax எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு பார்ப்பீங்க. levy and collection how your GST tax will be charged and how the collection of the tax will be there, so that will be seen. அப்புறம் mixed supply னா என்ன, composite supply னா என்ன, so this we have seen. ஓகேவா? ஸோ இதில் நம்ம என்ன காம்போசிட் சப்ளைல என்ன பார்க்கலன்னா, காம்போசிட் சப்ளையோட அட்வான்டேஜஸ் என்ன, டிஸ்அட்வான்டேஜஸ் என்ன, அண்ட் நீங்க வந்து ஒரு அன்ரெஜிஸ்டர்ட் பிளேயரா இருந்தீங்கன்னா, தட் இஸ் அன்ரெஜிஸ்டர்ட் ஜிஎஸ்டி ஹோல்டரா இருந்தீங்கன்னா, வாட் இஸ் த டிஸ்அட்வான்டேஜஸ் ஆஃப் ஹேவிங் அ காம்போசிட் சப்ளை வி ஹேவ் டு சி. சரியா? நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து டைம் அண்ட் வேல்யூவேஷன் ஆஃப் சப்ளை. ஸோ இதுதான் வந்து உங்களோட ஃப்ளோ ஆஃப் ஜிஎஸ்டி டாபிக். ஓகே. ஸோ இதுல நம்ம டெஃபினிஷன் ஆஃப் ஜிஎஸ்டி நம்ம ஏற்கனவே பார்த்திருப்போம். Okay, but I'll recollect it once again. Okay, so GST is a tax on goods and services with a value addition to each and every stage, having a comprehensive and continuous change of set of benefits for the producer and the service provider point up to the retailer's level. That means it is an indirect tax, okay, which is levied at each and every stage of the product, not only at the entire manufacturing stage, not like that. Okay, so if you are having a raw material, from that raw material, one second students, one second. Flow of activity definition, business related persons and capital goods, and levy and collection of tax, mixed supply, composite supply, and time value of supply. இது ஒரு particular flow of workல உங்களுக்கு இருக்கும். ஓகேவா? ஸோ இதுல நம்ம வந்து டெஃபினேஷன்ஸ் ஆல்ரெடி நான் உங்களுக்கு சொல்லிட்டேன், பட் அகெயின் ஐம் ரிப்பீட்டிங், இட் இஸ் அன் இன்டைரக்ட் tax. Okay, so where the tax will be applicable for the goods at each and every stage of its production activity. Okay, and it will be transferred from the producer to the ultimate consumer. It will be transferred. So in case of GST, the tax burden will be for the consumer who is using that particular product. So this is the definition of your GST. Okay, so next வந்து நம்ம என்ன பார்த்தோம்னா business related persons in capital goods. Okay, so business related to person related capital goods means it is known as related person. Okay, so உங்களுக்கு tax pay பண்றதுக்கான who is the eligible person, that we call it as a related person. Okay ma? So as you know that in case of big companies, they will have multiple branches and they will have multiple products. Okay, so when a company has a multiple branch or when they have a multiple products, okay, so in that case for each and every product they will have a separate registration for GST, and based on the separate registration only they will be paying the tax. And why they should have a separate registration in the census to because the reason for having a separate registration is each and every product what the company is handling will be having a separate rules or norms, or the controlling authority, everything will be different. Okay, so when the company for those product itself, when it is different, so on that particular basis only the GST is also classified that each and every product will have a separate registration. Okay, so suppose for example if the company situated in Chennai and the same company which is available in Bangalore, so in that case registration for Chennai will be different and for the Bangalore will be different. Okay, so in this case the Chennai registration will be considered as a separate related person for paying the tax, and for Bangalore it will be separate. But the company who prepares a balance sheet, everything will remain the same, but the registration of the GST will be varying because of their operations which they taken place in multiple places. Okay, so that is known as related person. So here I gave an example of Tata Steel and Tata Motors. They both are, they comes under Tata Sons only, but their operations are too different. Okay, so in that case, whatever the tax or whatever the input credits they have will be done separately only, because they are a separate entity. Okay, they have their own common seal and common control is available. So because of that reason, according to your GST law, so these two different entity we call it as a related person. Okay, clear? Next one is how you will determine the supply of goods in case of related person. Though they come under one single umbrella, but they are having two different entities. Okay, so in that case, when you supply goods to these kind of related person, how you will calculate the tax? Okay, so the first method is you can calculate the tax using your open market value. Open market value in the sense, what is the market value of the goods? You can take that, based on that you can calculate the tax. That is the first method. Second method is, suppose if you don't have the market value, so in that case you can take the value of the goods, okay, based on the quantity and the kind which you are having, or if you have any similar goods, okay, so what is the value of the similar goods? Based on that you can determine the value of the goods. That is the second thing. Suppose if you don't have the market value and if you don't have a similarity of goods, so in that case you can determine the value of the goods using the cost method or the residual method. Okay, so cost method is where after doing all the expenditure, whatever the values are available, you can use that. Or if you don't have the cost method, the residential value means what are the reasonable charges which you can uh, apply for that particular product. You can apply it, and for that particular rate you can apply the GST. Okay, so and you can apply any principles or any provision, whatever you feel which is fit for paying the GST, you can apply it under the residential method and you can pay the GST. Okay, so this is the one thing. Okay, if the receipt of goods is eligible for full tax credit, then the value declared in the invoice shall be deemed to be the open market value of the goods. Suppose, for example, whatever the method or whatever the ways you fill the GST, and when you get the input tax credit, so in that case, whatever the value for which you are ready to pay, so that value will be considered as a open market value. That means what is the market value of the goods, that will be considered. Okay, so this is the way how we will be calculating the tax. Example, the same example, that is Tata Motors and Tata Steel. Okay, so Tata Steel supply some goods worth of rupees 1,50,000 according to the market value. Okay, for this they have not given any supply, so that is the value of supply is not given, just the worth of goods has been given. Okay, but Tata Motors, their value of the goods is 1 lakh, but they have given the they have charged the GST, and the GST percentage is 18%, and they also paid the tax. Okay, and they also claim the input tax credit. That means reversion of tax is also taken by them. Okay, so they also have the invoice and they have the revision of tax, but Tata Steel doesn't do anything. So in that case, whatever the 80,000 which they have paid, so that they will be having an input tax credit. Whatever they have not paid as tax will be remained as a open market value, because they have not paid any tax, so the value which they have not paid will be considered with them. Okay, so this is all about the supply of uh, that is value of supply of goods under the related person according to GST. Okay, clear? Any doubts, students? Shall I go to the next one? Okay, so next வந்து நம்ம அடுத்து என்ன உங்களுக்கு கான்செப்ட் எழுதிருக்கேன், லெவி அண்ட் கலெக்ஷன் ஆஃப் டாக்ஸ். ஸோ லெவி அண்ட் கலெக்ஷன் ஆஃப் டாக்ஸ்ல வந்து எசென்ஷியல்ஸ் ஆஃப் லெவி அப்படின்ட்டு நம்ம பார்த்துருப்போம். ஒன் செகண்ட். ஓகே, ஸோ எசன்ஸ் ஆஃப் லெவி, அதாவது உங்களுக்கு ஜிஎஸ்டி, இஃப் யூ வாண்ட் டு பே ஜிஎஸ்டி, வாட் இஸ் த basic criteria which will be available. So basically உங்களுக்கு goods இருக்குன்னா, and if you should have a hands of suppliers, and also hands of suppliers with reversible tax mechanism you should have. Okay, then inter change tax இருக்கணும், tax rates இருக்கணும், value of supply and taxes, tax should be payable by the taxable person. இதெல்லாம் வந்து essentials for levying the tax. Okay, and CGST for petroleum products எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி, and what is the recommendation of the council also we have seen. ஓகே, அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம என்ன பார்த்தோம்னா மிக்ஸ்டு சப்ளை அப்படின்னா என்னன்னு பார்த்தோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் காம்போசிட் லெவி ஆர் காம்போசிட் சப்ளைனா என்னன்னு பார்த்தோம். அண்ட் we have seen also the example for these two. Okay, but we have not seen the advantages and disadvantages. We are yet to supposed to see. We have just seen the meaning only. What is mean by mixed supply and what is mean by composite supply only we have seen. And in case of composite supply, what is the eligibility and on which are the products has what are the percentage of eligibility we have seen. Okay, so in today's lecture we will see what is the time and the valuation of supply. Okay, so time of supply. Okay, so time of supply is what is the point of time in which you are liable to pay the GST. Okay, so the importance to determine the date or point on time when the liability to pay arises. That means what is the time period for paying the GST? We call it as the time of supply of goods. Okay, suppose for example, in case of income tax, we will be paying every year on 31st March, or we will pay it at 30th June, or we can pay it as per the government deadlines. Okay, but in case of GST, as per the as you get the invoices, or as we get the time, we are supposed to pay the GST. That is the GST norms. Okay, and when you want to pay the GST, what are the conditions you will have? First one, in case of goods, you should have a physical value of goods in your hand. Suppose, for example, I have I am steel manufacturer. In the sense, if I'm a steel manufacturer, then in that case, I should have whatever the tons of steel which I'm having, I should possess. That is the first criteria. Second one, if I'm doing any services, then in case of time of suppliers for the services will be challenging, because I don't know when I have received the services. So in that case, whatever invoice bill you have, so that will be the supportive hand for getting the services payment. Okay, next one is point of tax must be multiple issues. Multiple issues, see, you can't pay GST for each and every invoice. You should take the what is the September month invoice, or sorry, September month purchase or sale. So you have to compile everything and you have to do the taxation. That is the second thing. Then liability to pay month in which it should be included in the returns. That means if you are doing in the month of September, then what is the return which you are going to claim, you have to mention it clearly. Okay, so these are the requirements of the times of supply. So time of supply is what is the point in which you are making the payment of your GST. We call it as a time of supply. And what are the eligibility conditions? You should have a physical goods. In case of services, it is very difficult to ascertain, so in that case you can use your invoice what you have got. And multiple tax issues should make, and liability for paying tax should be of in the month in which it has been arise, that you have to make it. Okay, next one is how what is when you will be paying and how you will be paying. So for that you will have a separate chart that we will see. Okay, in case of normal case in the sense, if you want to pay GST, then what is the procedure? So what is the date of issue of invoice by the supplier? So that will be considered as the time of supply. Okay, suppose if you receive goods today, so in that case the GST taxable paid on the date of issue you can take. That is the normal case. Okay, so earlier of the dates means the last date on which invoice has been issued. Okay, or removal of goods, so that day also can be considered for the uh, time of issue, or date on which supplier receives the payment, on that day also you can consider as a time of supply. Okay, so time of supply can be of invoice price. Okay, or the last day of invoice on which the issue has been made or the goods has been delivered, for that you can take it, or the payment received date from the supplier, so that date also can be considered for the time of supply of the goods. Okay, that is under GST. Okay, next one is what is mean by date of receipt of payment. Okay,
So date of receipt of payment means on which date you have recorded in your books or on which date you have received the amount from the customer. So that is called as date of receipt of payment under the GST. Okay, we have seen what is mean by reversible charge mechanism and also forward charge mechanism. Okay, so reversible charge mechanism is nothing but what is the date of receipt of goods or what is the date of payment of goods, okay, or which is the last date of payment of goods, okay, on which the date on which the goods has been issued, we call it as the reversible charges. Okay, next one is a supply of invoice. Supply of invoice means the date of issue of invoice, we call it as a supply of invoice. It is a supply identification. That means you can identify on which date the goods has been supplied. Okay, if the date of redemption is when they re when they give back or when they return it, so in that case it is a supply not identical can be done in case of supply of voucher. Next one is in case of any other situation, that means if you have not received the goods or if you have not received the supply, in that case or the day on which you have filled the return or day on which you have paid the return will be considered as a time of supply. Okay, next one is in case of additional consideration. Additional consideration is suppose if you are paying any interest or if you are paying any late fees or penalty for delay of payment. So in that case, what is the date of receipt of additional consideration by supply will be considered as the time of supply. Okay, if you are giving a late fees of GST or if you are paying any delay fees in case of GST, so in that case on what date you have get the receipt from the supplier, so that date will be considered as a time of supply of goods. Okay, next one is, so this is for goods. Okay, when you have a physical goods, then this is the rule. Okay, suppose if you are doing the services, okay, there's a time for supply of services, then what is the condition? Okay, so time of supply of goods is classified under section 13 of GST Act. Okay, first one, in case of services you are supposed to have the invoices. So in that case, date of issue of invoices, if the issue of invoices is within 13 days of the supply of goods, you have to do it. Second one, date of receipt of payment or date of provision of services, and it should not be not less than 30 days. Next, date on which the receipt should be receipt of services in the books. Okay, on these three criteria, whichever is earlier can be considered as a time of supply. Time of supply in the sense you can pay your tax. Okay, what are the conditions? First one is issue of invoice. Second one is on paying of your invoice amount. Okay, and the date on which you get the invoices. So all these, or the book of entry on which date you are making. So okay, so all according on these three, anyone which is coming early, you can make your GST. Next one is, what is the liability under the GST charges? Okay, so liability under the reversible charges is, first one is payment, date of payment enter in the books of accounts of recipient or payment debit in the accounts book. Okay, so that will be considered as a liability for reversal charges. Okay, and that immediate date on which should be of 16 days from the date of issue of the invoice or any other documents. Okay, so these are the basic liability which is involved in the reversible charges. And in any other cases, the date on which you receive the receipt, okay, or receive the receipt in the books of accounts will be considered as a recipient for the issues. Okay, so these are the basic conditions which is available for the supply of services. Okay, next one is your time of supply charging rate. Okay, so what is the charging rate which is available? Okay, so goods and service supply before charges. Before charges is before if you receive any goods. Okay, then what is the rate which will be available? Okay, so if it is an invoice issued or payment received after the changes, okay, then in that case the time of supply earlier of date of receipt of payment or date of issue. So these either one will be considered for the uh, consider for the payment of your GST. One second, students. So goods and service supplied before charges. Before charges is that is paying of GST tax. Okay. So in that case, it will be rates will be charged based on the invoice issue or whatever the amount you have received. Okay, on these basis, you will be getting the claim of the supply of goods. Okay. And second thing is, if the invoice issue prior to changes, any change of taxes if it is available. So in that case, the payment received after the changes will be considered for the GST. That means the invoice price what you have. So that particular rate will be taken for the GST tax liability. Next one is, if you have received the payment before the changes, but the invoice issued after the changes. That means any change in the values which is there. Okay, so in that case, whatever the receipt of payment you are getting, for that only you will be paying the GST. Okay, so these are the tax liability payment which is available in the GST. Okay, so three norms are there. One is invoice issue and any payment receipt changes if it is there. Okay, in that case, the date of receipt or the payment of issues or invoice will be. Then in second cases, when the uh, invoice issue prior to change of payment, that case date of issue, the date of issue of invoice. And the last one is payment received before the changes, but invoice received if it is there, then the receipt of the payment will be considered for GST. Okay, and next one is, if the goods and services supplied after the change, that means change in the value is happened uh, after you have made the payment, but the changes are done after that, then how the tax liability will be treated. Okay, suppose payment received, you have received the payment and the tax liability has been changed. Okay, before the invoice is prepared. So in that case, on which date you have received the payment. Okay, so on that particular date, your tax liability will be calculated. Example, I have drawn any bill. Okay, and today the current bill rate is of 5%. Okay, but when I am paying the GST, okay, my rate has been changed as 12%. So in that case, on which date I have made the payment, okay, on that particular date, what is the GST rate is applicable. So that rate will be given for the payment of the GST. Okay, suppose if I paid next month, then 12% will be calculated. If I paid this month, then 5% will be calculated. Okay, that is the first condition. Next one is invoice issued and payment received before the changes. Okay, invoice is also given and the payment is also received before the changes of the rates. Okay, so in that case, on which date you have received the payment or on which date you have issued the invoice. Okay, on these two dates, whichever is coming early will be considered for the rate of tax. Okay, so either one which is coming early, we will be taking it up. Third condition, invoiced after the change. Okay, but payment before the change. Okay, so invoice when you prepare the invoice, the rates has been changed, but it is not before the making the payment. So in this case, the date of issue will be considered for the time of supply. Okay, so on which date you have issued, okay, you have issued the invoice, so that date will be considered for making the taxes. Okay, the next one is, what is the provision? If the credit is in the bank after 4 working days of change, in that case, the date of receipt of payment to the date of credit in the bank account will be considered for the time of supply in a special provision case. Okay, so these are the goods and service supplies which is available. Okay, next one is Okay. So these are the supplies of value of supplies of credit which is available under the GST. Okay, so with this I'll stop the lecture. Next lecture we will start about your what is the tax invoices, credit and debit note. Okay, and how this debit and credit note will be issued for taxable in case of GST, and then how you can use this issue of invoice time for new registered person. Okay, and what is the exemption available for the tax invoices. Okay, and whether GST has advance tax payment. If they have advance tax payment, then what is the treatment which is available for advance tax payment. And when you if you have received if you're having a goods receipt for goods receipt, so in that case how you will be having a revised charge bill under the GST. Okay, and what is mean by continuous supply of goods, what is mean by continuous supply of services. Okay, and how the cess for the GST will be applied. So all this we will see it in the next lecture. Okay, so I'll stop here and I'll do a small recap of what we have done in today's class. Okay, so we have learned about the definition of GST again, and we have seen what is mean by related person. Okay, and then we have seen what is the time of supply. Okay, and how the time of supply will be classified, and what is the provision available, and how the time of supply will be taken for the different events. So in case of general if you take, then the payment of tax will be on base of invoice only. Okay, if I receive invoice today, maybe today itself I can eligible for paying the GST. Okay, or what is the other alternative is last day of invoice. That means you will be having a credit period. Okay, so that credit period time you can use it for the payment of tax, or the delivery of goods you can take it, or any payment receipt. So on these three basis you can make the taxes. Okay, what is mean by date of receipt of payment under GST we have seen. How the reversible charge mechanism for time of supply will be taken I've seen. How the supply of vouchers will be taken as seen. Okay, how the late fees will be considered for time of supply I've seen. Okay, same way like services we have seen, and in case of supply before changes how it will be there, after changes how it will be there has been seen. Okay, so that's it. Can anyone do the recap of it? யாராவது recap பண்ண முடியுமாப்பா? யாராவது recap பண்ண முடியுமா?